Alright, so Streets Agent 111. Before I start this, I assume that you already know how to play Streets, or that you have 112 or something like that. But other than that, let's just get started. So first of all, which version should you use? English or Jap or PAL? So I'll say first off by saying that all but one of the 111s are achieved with Jap. And the only one that's not is Red Screens. He got 111 with English, and no one has gotten it with PAL. However, Ilu almost did get it with PAL, so that is not out of the ordinary to play on PAL for Streets. But just know that most people have used Jap to get 111. And second thing, I want to start off here. This is my 111 that I'm playing. I want to start off with the cinema timing. Now there is a new cinema timing. So you see that text that was on screen? On English it would say St. Petersburg. When it disappears, that's when you cut. In the past, we would usually just watch the whole cinema, both of the cutscene cinemas. But this new cinema timing will cut you will cut it off right when the text disappears, right there. And the reason for that is it allows to get better second set GL spawns that will spawn in the later position near the second set, is what I meant to say. Because sometimes they'll spawn on the long straight if you're playing it normally, but if you're on 111 pace with this cinema timing, the second GL guard should always spawn in the late spot. So that's why we do that cinema timing. And so I will just go through this run real quick. Make sure your lines are tight throughout the whole run, of course. It is Streets, it is a strafe base level. And then we get to this first guard, this first kill. You can do 1 to 2 bullets on him. I do 2. But another option here is, if you want to go a little quicker, you might opt to do a no KF7 to not get up close and kill him. So here I do get his KF7, but you could choose to not get his KF7 and just use the pistol. Now only one 111 to this point has been done with one or with a pistol, and that was Irie Butler's. And the reason for that is, if we just switch scenes here real quick. The reason for that is killing the GL guards with a pistol is a lot harder. You have to be very precise here, and then we'll skip ahead to his second kill. This second kill is even harder than the first. The first one's not so bad, but the second one is... he just, like, barely... it is unbelievable that he got that second one, actually. So I would recommend getting the KF7 at the start here, but just know that 111 has been done without a pistol, and I would still play out the runs where you don't get the KF7. That's my advice, because you never know. Alright. So continuing on, get his gun, and again, yeah, tight lines. I shouldn't have to say that more than once, but here's your first TT at this corner here. Now I have like about a 40. I pause about a frame too early. So 43.5. That's a standard TT you should have right there. A mid 43. At least with this cinema timing, I am assuming you are doing the cinema cutting. And then you continue on along this path here between these cars, and in the past we would look up for this first GL guard at when the timer turned to 37. But with this new cinema timing, you can either do that, but what I chose to do was look up at a mid 38, which is what I do here. Just so he's still sort of on the same in the same area that he was when I didn't cut the cinema. So we're doing things a bit earlier and looking at things in a bit earlier of a way than we did with the regular cinema timing. You can choose to look up at 37 still if you want, and that'll put him in a spot a little further back, which makes it... I found it was a little harder for him to kill, and usually you would get back boosted more often by those the first barricade of guards, just because you got the grenade launcher a bit later. So my advice is to look up at 37. So now at this point you could either get rockets at your first set, or you could get KF7s. And I'm going to show you real quick here a run. This is Carl's 111. So he gets rockets first set, and you should be able to tell if you know streets. So he gets a grenade launcher. Now if it was a KF7 first set, you would hear rockets being shot at him from behind him. But there are no rockets, so it's a rocket set he's going to have to face here soon. So he gets a kill here, and then this is why you do the boost, the first boost here, because there is one set of KF7 guards. I would just call that set 0 because they're always going to be KF7s. So one boost here to avoid any guard back boosts, and again that's why I like looking up at 38 as opposed mid 38 as opposed to high 37. Then you could also get a boost down here before before picking up the BA. So he turns this corner really tight to pick up the body armor here. Just like that, you're never going to be able to see the BA you pick up. So you have to just kind of a feel thing you have to develop. And so now he has to face the rockets, and I would advise to do what he does here and try to boost yourself. Try to turn and boost yourself as early as possible. It's hard to develop that feeling of turning towards to set your line as early as possible. It's basically like a quick right to pick up the BA and then a quick left back to set your line and do the boosts. So those are two perfect boosts. He's set his line, and again, that's just something you're gonna have to develop by feel. And you could get boosted by a rocket in about this area. It's usually not a very good boost. It's usually somewhat of a side boost, but it's something that can happen. Usually the rocket set is very laggy and not usually the ideal situation for 111. Now let's go back to my run because I don't get rocket sets. I get a KF7 set, so let's see how that plays out. And I get the kill. One boost there. A turn tight for the body armor. This is a very good turn, actually. And with this KF7, since I don't have a threat of rockets sort of kind of trolling me or killing me, I can actually sort of set my line a little earlier and then do boosts. Again, you're going to want to do 2 boosts here. It's your best option to avoid any back boosts from the guards. So 2 perfect boosts there, and you can see my line is set, and I do almost get troll on this run. You see that guard rolling in my way there, but luckily I get a guard boost from the guard on my right side, so that was a bit lucky there. And a lot of this level really does come down to luck, and that was certainly the case for me. So the most common guard boost you're going to get at this set is, again, in the same area, and it will usually be a good guard boost. About right here, you'll get 1 most of the time, you might get 2, and on very rare occasions you'll get 3 boosts, but hope for at least 1, if nothing else. Okay, and now we have entered what is known as the long strafe. So This area right here is where the second grenade launcher would sometimes spawn, but with this new cinema timing, that should not be a worry. He is a lot harder to kill, and you have to go more out of your way to kill him. So you really don't want him in that position. And then we're coming up to the bounce boost. So what that is since you're doing so many grenade launcher boosts, even with 2 sets of body armor, you're probably, in most cases, not going to be able to survive 12 grenade launcher boosts and 1 or 2 guard boosts as well. So what was developed by Carl, I think? Yeah, I think Carl came up with this strat, was the bounce boost. So there's this wall right here. And what you're going to do, instead of looking a straightforward down boost, you shoot your grenade shot right off this wall. And it takes some practice, but the way I had success doing it was like this, looking down. I'm not quite neutral, but also not quite in look down. I would also advise to shoot it earlier than you think you should. Just like that. I'll go by frame here. And you see here, I'm not even really changing my strafe line. I'm keeping a good line towards this wall. But also, so you can see I fire the shot right here, and that's gonna end up landing directly behind you and give you a nice boost. It's not quite as good as a normal look down boost, but it's better than no boost, obviously. And the one on this one is actually pretty good. It was a tiny bit to the side, but it was mostly forward. And again, that's going to take a bit of practice to do. And then 2 more boosts down here, and here's your next TT. It's going to be when you pass this wall here. So this is actually a pretty bad. You're going to want it with this new cinema timing to be probably a mid 413, like 413.5 or 0.4 at the very least. I get a 0.33 here, or 0.30, however you want to look at it. So that's I actually, this start I have here going here is actually not that great and not that ideal for 111. So I knew here that I'm gonna need a really good ending if I wanted to get 111 on this run. But anyway, you come along here, and then if you also want, oh yeah, I should probably mention this lookup spot as well. So where you look up here actually matters a lot. You don't want to look up. This is just for me, but I would not advise looking up right as you turn, because the guard's gonna be like directly behind the corner. And it's kind of hard to explain, but killing him as he's like right in your field of view as you're turning into the corner is not ideal, because you're going to want to turn into him. You're going to have you want this muscle memory developed where you turn into him to get the grenade launcher, and then turn back and set your line. And when he's in that position, it's not the ideal position for him to do that. So I look up a little bit after I've turned. Like, I set my line. Once I know that I've set my line, then that's when I look up. So just about before this wall, basically, is when I look up. And then if you want, mid 406 is good here. Again, it's about 7 seconds less than the other TT. So if you want to look at the 413 one or the 406 one, that's your decision. I usually tended to not try to look at this 406 one because I was focusing on getting the kill. So we're going to switch back real quick to see what to do in the event of a rocket set. We're going to go to Austin's 111 here. So he has a good run going. So he gets the kill. Again, like I said, you're going to want to turn into him a little bit to be sure you pick up the second GL. And that's exactly what he does, and he turns back to set his line. Now he hears he gets rockets, so he can actually start boosting right now, which is better if you have rockets once you know you've had your line set. So he does 2 boosts, and you see here he's trying to stay a little bit wide of the rockets so he doesn't get shot down, because any hit from these rockets will kill you on Agent, because you only have about 4 or 5 bars at this point. So he's making sure to stay wide, and then turns a little back in to make the final. That was weird. To make the final right turn towards the body armor, just like that. And then he picks the body armor up really smoothly. And then also with rockets, you can get it's pretty rare, but you can also get a boost from rockets here, and Austin actually does on this run, right there. And it didn't even do any bars of damage, which was really nice. And that's basically best case scenario for rockets set right there. And back to my run. Again, I do not get rocket set. Let's check out my kill. Again, you saw how I turned into the guard to pick up his grenade launcher. Really making sure, especially for this second guy, you really want to make sure you get that. And you already see I'm sort of pre-firing. I shoot 6 bullets at him here. I'm sort of pre-firing because I'm trying to just let the auto aim do the work. So I think I hit him once. Yeah, so once in the foot there. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but when they have the grenade launcher, they also have body armor, so it's going to take 3 limb hits, or a limb hit and a body hit. A headshot will also do the trick. So I hit him once in the shoulder there, and another time in the shoulder. So I got the foot and one shoulder and the other shoulder. So that's 3 limb hits. Pick up the GL, and I set my line, and I don't hear rockets. They will usually fire the rockets right away. I don't hear them, so I know I have a KF7 set, which was good for me because if you remember, I didn't have that great of a start. And you'll see why here. And you're not going to want to boost immediately like you did with the rocket set. So and also if you watch the Lockwood 112, you'll get the same advice from that video, which is don't boost until you hear them firing and trying to back boost you, basically. So I heard them firing. I know they're going to try to back boost me, and that's when I do the boosts, and 2 of them again, like with the first set. And since I don't have rockets, since I don't have the fear of a rocket killing me, I can actually set a good line to this corner over here. The only thing you have to worry about is getting back boosted. But if you have the right timing with your boosts and with the guards shooting at you, most of the time you should be okay. And then you can also get boosted from these guards as well, which is another benefit of the KF7 set, which I do right here. And at this point, I knew that this had a chance at 111 because I got that guard boost that I needed since my start. Basically, I needed another boost, and this is where I got it. Then this BA can be a little tricky, but it's actually a bit easier than the first BA to pick up, I think, but under pressure, it's of a run, it's kind of hard. And now the ending here. After you've picked up the BA, where should you boost? There's a lot of places you actually should boost and a lot of places you actually shouldn't. So from all the runs I've seen, I think the best places to boost are right after you pick the big BA, do one boost. Like that. Then set your line to this corner here. Don't do any boosts here. So just do that one boost, then make sure your line's still good. Then you turn here and do your second boost. So one more boost. Look up one more time to make sure that you're not going to bump into this wall here. And also, after you've turned for this wall, make sure you turn a little bit to the left, just to make sure you don't run into the Jeep that's on your right side. That's a big run killer. Austin especially would know. So I turn a little to the left, and once I know I've set my line, now I can begin. Now I can do my last two boosts. Now I've done my last two boosts, and it's not always going to be the same, but for the old cinema timing, you wanted a 48.86, and that would get you 111. That 48.86 or anything higher than that. But for this, it's not as clear because you're not always going to be cutting the cinema in the exact frame perfect same spot. But most runs, I figured that the cutoff was 0.3 or 0.4. So this is actually my final decimal, is 349.36, which is definitely a 111.9 with this. Even considering I got the this cutscene. With this cutscene, you can usually get like a worse decimal, but still get 111. Like I think it's a 0.10. You can get a 0.76 with the old timing, basically, and still get 111. And then yeah. So just be aiming for 0.3 or 0.4 with this new cinema timing is what I'm saying. And yeah, let's just go over that run, watch it through one more time, and I will try to touch on some things. So cut the cinema here after the text fades out. Make sure your lines are tight the whole run. One or two shots into that guard. Hopefully you'll get his KF7. Good strafing here. And mid 43 at that corner. In between the cars. Look up at mid 38. That first kill, one boost here. Maybe you'll get a boost here. Nice turns to the BA. Set your line, two boosts. And maybe get some more guard boosts here, hopefully. Bounce boost, not quite looking up, not quite looking neutral. Two more boosts. Mid 13 at the worst there. Look up, not as you turn, but a little after. Turn into the second GL. Fire as they start to back boost you, or try to. Maybe you get a boost. Body armor. One quick one. And then another as you turn there, and then two as you strafe to the ending. And hopefully it should be 0.36 or anything higher than that. And after all that's said and done, you should have your very own Streets Agent 111. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Yeah, thank you for watching.